The dashboard screamed red. Every warning light on the Mercedes prototype blazed like angry stars against the pre-dawn darkness. Victoria Ashford's hands gripped the steering wheel so tight her knuckles went white. The speedometer needle quivered at 160 miles per hour. Interstate 85 stretched ahead like a ribbon of black glass. She pressed the brake pedal. Nothing. Pressed again, harder. Still nothing. The pedal went straight to the floor like pushing through water. No resistance, no friction, no mercy. Mayday, her voice stayed calm through training and terror. This is Victoria Ashford in prototype Alpha 7. Brake failure at 160. I repeat, brake failure. The radio crackled static, no response. Too early for traffic control, too fast for prayers. Ahead, brake lights bloomed red in the darkness. A convoy of semi-trucks sat parked across 3 lanes. Construction zone. She had maybe 20 seconds before impact at this speed. The math was simple and brutal. At 160 miles per hour, a human body becomes physics. Flesh meets metal. Metal wins. Victoria's mind raced faster than the car. Swerve left, concrete barrier. Swerve right, another truck, emergency brake, already tried, drove straight, death. She chose death with dignity, foot off the gas, hands steady, eyes open. Then she saw him. An old pickup truck, rust-colored and ordinary, pulled alongside her, impossibly fast for such a beat-up vehicle. The driver's window rolled down. A black man, maybe mid-30s, leaned out. His face showed no panic, just focus. He shouted something. The wind ate his words. She rolled her window down. Hurricane-force wind hit her face. Cut right, his voice cut through the chaos like a blade. Now. Some part of her brain, the part trained in emergency response protocols, obeyed without question. She cranked the wheel right. The Mercedes prototype, worth $67 million in research and development, lurched into the narrow gap between construction barriers. The pickup truck accelerated, stayed right beside her, close enough to touch. The man's voice came again. Listen carefully, engine brake, downshift to 4th, now. Who the hell are you? Do it. Her hand moved to the gear shift. Manual transmission, thank God. She downshifted. The engine screamed. The car lurched. 160 became 150. Good. His voice stayed calm, steady as stone. Now emergency brake, 3 seconds on, 2 seconds off. Trust the physics. She pulled the emergency brake. Once, twice, 3 times. The car shuddered like a dying animal. 150 became 140. 140 became 130. When you hit 80, hard right into the grass median. I'll guide you. This is insane. You got a better idea. She didn't. 80 miles per hour, now or never. She cranked the wheel hard right. The Mercedes left the pavement, hit grass going sideways. The world spun. Sky became ground, became sky. Metal shrieked. Glass shattered. The car rolled once, twice, 3 times. Then silence. Victoria hung upside down. Seatbelt cut into her chest. Blood dripped from somewhere, she couldn't tell where. Everything hurt and nothing hurt. Shock, probably. A face appeared in the shattered window. The man from the pickup truck. His brown eyes were calm, kind even. You're okay. His voice was gentle now, soft as prayer. I got you. He reached in. His hands moved with practiced precision, found the seatbelt release, supported her weight as gravity tried to drop her, pulled her free from the wreckage with surprising gentleness. Can you walk? She tried, her legs trembled but held. I think so. Good, sit here, don't move. He guided her to the grass, checked her pupils with a penlight he pulled from nowhere, felt her pulse at her wrist and neck, ran his fingers along her spine, checking for injury. Every movement spoke of medical training, real training, not YouTube tutorials. "You're in shock, minor lacerations, possible concussion, nothing life-threatening." Sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. "Who are you?" Victoria asked. Her voice shook now. The adrenaline was wearing off, reality crashing in. The man glanced toward his truck. A little girl sat in the passenger seat, maybe 7 years old, big eyes watching everything. The man's whole body changed when he looked at her, softened, like steel remembering it used to be iron ore. "Daddy," the little girl's voice carried across the median, "is the lady okay?" "She's okay, Pumpkin, stay in the truck." "You have a daughter," Victoria said, stupid observation. Obviously he had a daughter, but her brain was scrambled eggs. "Yes, ma'am." "You risked her life to save mine." The man's jaw tightened. "I calculated the risk, it was manageable." "Calculated?" Victoria studied him closer now. Oil stains on his jacket, work boots, calloused hands, but the way he spoke, the precision of his movements, this was no ordinary man. "What do you do?" "I fix cars." Ambulance lights strobed red and blue across his face. Paramedics jumped out, started asking questions, taking vitals, loading Victoria onto a stretcher. "Wait," she tried to sit up. "I need his name, I need to thank him properly." But when she looked, the rusty pickup truck was already pulling away, disappearing into the dawn like smoke. A paramedic pressed her back down. "Ma'am, you need to stay still, possible head injury." "He saved my life. He didn't even tell me his name." On the grass beside her, something white caught the morning light. A business card, grease-stained and crumpled. Victoria reached for it before the paramedics could stop her. "Brooks Auto Repair, 1847 Memorial Drive, Atlanta, Georgia." She clutched the card like a lifeline as they loaded her into the ambulance. Through the rear windows, she watched the sun rise over Interstate 85, watched the wreckage of her prototype being loaded onto a flatbed, watched the place where a stranger had appeared from nowhere and saved her life. The doors closed, the ambulance pulled away. And Victoria Ashford, CEO of a $680 million automotive empire, realized she owed her life to a man whose name she didn't even know. But she had his address. 6 months earlier, that same man had a different problem. Not brake failure at terminal velocity, something slower, more grinding, the kind of problem that killed you by inches instead of seconds. Poverty. Terrence Brooks stood in the office of his auto repair shop at 5:30 in the morning. Outside, Atlanta was still dark. Inside, fluorescent lights buzzed like angry insects. The desk in front of him was buried in paperwork, bills mostly, red ink mostly. Mortgage 3 months behind. Total owed $9,400. Hospital bills, Sarah's cancer treatment from 3 years ago. The insurance company had denied the experimental therapy. Terry had paid out of pocket, sold everything he owned. It hadn't been enough. She died anyway. The bills remained, like ghosts, $96,000 in ghosts. Electric bill, $240, due in 5 days. Destiny's school expenses, field trip money, new shoes, dental work, always something. Terry ran his hand over his face, felt the stubble there. He couldn't remember the last time he had slept more than 4 hours, couldn't remember the last time he had eaten something that didn't come from a microwave, couldn't remember the last time he had felt anything except tired. The door to the back apartment opened. Destiny appeared. She wore pajamas covered in stars and planets. Her hair stuck up in every direction. She was beautiful. 7 years old and already smarter than half the engineers Terry used to work with. "Daddy," her voice was sleepy, "why are you up so early?" "Just doing paperwork, baby. Go back to bed." "Is it the bills again?" Terry's chest tightened. 7 years old. She shouldn't have to know about bills. Shouldn't have to see her father stressed and breaking. Shouldn't have to understand that sometimes love wasn't enough to keep the lights on. "Don't worry about that. That's grown-up stuff." Destiny walked over, climbed into his lap despite being almost too big for it, rested her head against his chest. "Mama used to say that worrying is just praying for bad things." Terry wrapped his arms around her, breathed in the smell of her shampoo. Strawberry. Sarah had always bought strawberry shampoo. He kept buying it, kept trying to hold onto pieces of her through their daughter. "Mama was a smart woman." "Do you miss her?" "Every day." "Me too." Destiny was quiet for a moment. "But I'm glad I have you." Terry kissed the top of her head. "I'm glad I have you too, Pumpkin. Now go get dressed, school day." "Can we have pancakes?" "We can have cereal." "But Mama used to make pancakes on Mondays." "I know, but Daddy's not as good a cook as Mama was." Destiny looked up at him, those big brown eyes that were Sarah's eyes. "That's okay. Your cereal is pretty good too." They had their routine down to a science. Terry made breakfast while Destiny got dressed, Cheerios with sliced bananas, orange juice, multivitamin. Then came the hard part, hair. Sarah used to braid Destiny's hair in intricate patterns that looked like art. Terry had watched YouTube videos for 6 months straight after Sarah died, practiced on mannequin heads, burned his fingers with hot combs. Eventually, he got decent. Not great, but decent. This morning, he managed a simple French braid. Destiny sat patiently while he worked, didn't complain when he pulled too tight, didn't mention that Mama used to do it better. She was good like that, protecting his feelings while he was supposed to be protecting hers. All done, he secured the end with a purple hair tie. Beautiful. Destiny checked herself in the mirror. "It's good, Daddy, really good." They both knew she was being generous, but that was love, wasn't it? Being generous with the truth. The drive to school took 15 minutes. Destiny's elementary school was in a decent neighborhood, not great, but decent. Terry had chosen their apartment specifically for the school district. Better schools, better future, that's what mattered. "Have a good day, Pumpkin." He leaned over to kiss her forehead. "Learned something amazing." "I always do." She grabbed her backpack. "Love you, Daddy." "Love you too." He watched her walk into the building, watched until she disappeared into the crowd of other children. Every single morning his heart broke a little, watching her grow up without a mother, watching her pretend everything was fine when it wasn't, watching her be brave because he had to be brave. Then he drove to work. Brooks Auto Repair occupied a small lot on Memorial Drive. 3 repair bays, a tiny office, a tinier bathroom. The sign out front was hand-painted, fading. Terry kept meaning to repaint it, never found the time or the money or the energy. His employee, Lewis, was already there. 19 years old, Latino kid from the neighborhood, good with engines, better with customers, dreamed of going to college but couldn't afford it. So he worked for Terry, learned what he could, saved what he could. "Morning, boss." Lewis looked up from under the hood of a Toyota Camry. "We got a problem." Terry's stomach dropped. There was always a problem. What now? "Hydraulic lift in Bay 2. It's dying, makes this grinding noise, won't go past 6 feet. Can you work around it?" "For now, but it's gonna fail completely soon, and when it does," Lewis made a throat-cutting gesture. How much to replace? 8 grand, maybe 9. Terry did the math in his head. 9 grand for the lift, 9 grand for the mortgage, 96 grand for the hospital. Add in daily expenses, business costs, Destiny's needs. The number got bigger and bigger until it swallowed everything. We'll figure it out. Boss, you always say that, but how? We're barely making it as is. Terry didn't have an answer, so he did what he always did. Worked. Put his hands on engines and pretended the rest of the world didn't exist. In the shop, surrounded by tools and oil and metal, he could almost forget. Almost breathe. The Camry needed a new fuel pump. Simple job. Terry had it done by noon. The customer paid cash, $180. It went straight into the register. Would cover maybe half the electric bill. Around 2 in the afternoon, the shop phone rang. Brooks Auto Repair. Yes, hi, a woman's voice, professional, cold. My car won't start. I need a tow and immediate diagnostic. Ma'am, we can tow you, but diagnostic takes time. Can't promise immediate. I'll pay double. Terry rubbed his eyes. Rich people. They thought money made physics faster. Double the price doesn't make the diagnosis faster. Your car still takes the same time to analyze. I have an important dinner at 8:30. I need this resolved. Terry glanced at the clock. 2:15. Where are you located? Ashford Automotive Headquarters. Downtown, parking garage. We can get there by 3. Tow back here by 3:30. I can look at it, but I can't promise a fix by 8:30. Fine, just get here. She hung up without saying thank you. Terry stared at the phone. Rich people. Lewis drove the tow truck. Terry rode passenger. They took Memorial Drive into downtown Atlanta. The city rose around them. Glass towers, Mercedes and BMWs. People in suits who made more in a day than Terry made in a month. Ashford Automotive Headquarters was a gleaming tower of steel and windows, 20 stories tall, the kind of building that screamed money. The parking garage was underground, climate-controlled, probably cost more per month than Terry's entire shop. The broken-down car was a Mercedes S-Class, black, gleaming. Even sitting dead, it looked expensive. Standing next to it was the woman who had called. White, maybe 32, designer suit, heels that cost more than Terry's mortgage payment. Her blonde hair was pulled back so tight it probably gave her headaches. Her face was beautiful in that cold, untouchable way, like a statue. You're the mechanic, she looked Terry up and down. Her expression said she was not impressed. Yes, ma'am. Terry grabbed his diagnostic kit from the truck. I'm Terrence Brooks. You can call me Terry. I'm Victoria Ashford. You can call me Ms. Ashford. Terry bit back a smile. Okay then, what's the problem? It won't start. I press the ignition. Nothing happens. Any warning lights, sounds, clicks? Nothing, just dead. Terry popped the hood. Spent 90 seconds looking, found the problem in 60. Your fuel injector number 4 is clogged. Bad gas, probably. You can feel it in the harmonic frequency of cylinder 4. He pointed to a specific component. See how this one vibrates differently than the others? That's your tell. Victoria leaned in, stared at the engine like it was written in hieroglyphics. How can you possibly know that from just looking? It's not just looking, it's listening, feeling. Engines talk if you know how to hear them. And you learned this from 15 years working on cars. She straightened up, crossed her arms. How much to fix it? $340, 2 hours labor. Fine, do it. Ma'am, it's 2:15 now. 2 hours puts us at 4:15, maybe 4:30 with testing. You said you have dinner at 8:30. That's plenty of time. I need to go home first. Shower, change, that takes time. Terry resisted the urge to point out that shower and change shouldn't take 4 hours. Rich people problems. I'll work fast as I can. See that you do. She walked away, heels clicking on concrete. Didn't say please. Didn't say thank you. Just walked away like Terry was a servant. Like his time and skill meant nothing because he wore oil-stained coveralls instead of a designer suit. Lewis whistled low. Man, she's cold. She's stressed. Car trouble will do that. She's rude. Terry couldn't argue with that. Hook her up. Let's get back to the shop. They towed the Mercedes to Brooks Auto Repair. Lewis handled the paperwork. Terry got to work. The fuel injector was exactly what he thought, clogged with residue from bad gas, probably filled up at some cut-rate station. Even rich people made mistakes. He cleaned the injector, tested it, reinstalled it, ran diagnostics. The engine purred like a kitten, perfect. But here was the thing that made Terry's hands pause on the wrench. The thing that made his mind start working in ways he hadn't let it work in 3 years. This wasn't a fuel quality issue. The injector was clogged, yes, but the clog pattern was wrong, too uniform, too deliberate. Terry had seen injectors fail thousands of times. They failed messy, random. This one failed precise, like someone had introduced contaminate on purpose. He checked the fuel line, found microscopic scratches near the connection point. Someone had disconnected it recently. Someone who knew what they were doing. Terry's pulse quickened. His brain, that part of him he had shut down after Sarah died, started waking up, started asking questions. Who would sabotage Victoria Ashford's car? Why? And why did it feel like a test run for something worse? He pushed the thoughts away. Not his problem. He was a mechanic. He fixed cars. He didn't solve mysteries. He had a daughter to feed and bills to pay. Other people's problems would have to stay other people's problems. Victoria arrived at 6:15 to pick up the car. She walked into the shop office where Destiny sat doing homework at the front desk. Lewis was in the back. Terry was washing his hands in the industrial sink. Is it ready? Victoria's voice cut through the quiet. Destiny looked up from her math worksheet. Her eyes went wide. Hi, you're really pretty. Are you a princess? Victoria froze, stared at the little girl like she was an alien life form. What? You look like a princess from the movies. Pretty dress, pretty hair, pretty everything. I'm not a princess. I'm a CEO. What's that? Someone who runs a company. Oh, Destiny thought about this. My daddy ran a big team once, before. Now he fixes cars, but he's still the smartest person I know. Victoria's expression shifted, just slightly, curiosity replacing coldness. What team? I'm not supposed to say. It makes Daddy sad. Terry walked over, dried his hands on a shop rag. Destiny, go finish your homework in the back. But Daddy, I was just talking to the pretty lady. Now please. Destiny gathered her papers, shot Victoria one more smile. Bye, pretty lady. Victoria watched her go. Something flickered across her face, something almost human. Then the mask came back. Ice Queen restored. Your daughter? Yes, ma'am. Victoria paused, seemed to struggle with the word, sweet. Thank you. The car? All fixed, runs perfect, $340. Victoria pulled out her wallet, handed him $500 in cash. Keep the change. Ma'am, I charge what the repair costs, not a penny more, not a penny less. Terry counted out $160, handed it back. Here's your change. Victoria stared at the money like it was cursed. You're refusing a tip. I'm refusing charity. There's a difference. It's not charity, it's gratitude. Then say thank you, that's free. Their eyes locked, brown meeting blue, oil-stained coveralls meeting designer suit, two different worlds colliding in a tiny auto shop in Atlanta. Finally, Victoria took the money. Thank you. You're welcome. She walked to her car, got in, started the engine. It purred beautifully. She sat there for a moment, then rolled down the window. Your daughter said you ran a team before. Terry's jaw tightened. She talks too much. What kind of team? Not relevant. You're clearly overqualified to be running a small garage. Your diagnostic skills are exceptional. Your understanding of harmonic frequencies suggests advanced engineering education. So I'll ask again. What team? Terry met her eyes, saw the calculation there, the assessment. She was smart, dangerously smart. Ma'am, your car is fixed. Have a good evening. You're wasted here. Whatever you're running from, whatever made you choose this life, you're wasting extraordinary talent on ordinary problems. Ordinary problems are the only ones I care about anymore. Victoria studied him for a long moment. Then she put the car in gear. If you ever change your mind, Ashford Automotive is always looking for talent. She drove away, disappeared into Atlanta traffic. Lewis came out of the back. Dude, she basically just offered you a job. I have a job. Boss, she runs a $600 million company. You know what she could pay you. Money isn't everything, says the guy who's 3 months behind on his mortgage. Terry didn't respond, went back to the shop, back to the next repair, back to his small, safe, ordinary life. But Victoria's words echoed in his head. You're wasted here. 2 weeks later, Terry was under a Honda Accord trying to diagnose a transmission problem when Lewis ran into the bay. Boss, turn on the news now. I'm working. Boss, now. Something in Lewis's voice made Terry slide out from under the car, walk to the office, turn on the small TV they kept for background noise. The news was showing footage of Interstate 85, emergency vehicles everywhere, a Mercedes prototype being loaded onto a flatbed. The car was destroyed, rolled multiple times, barely recognizable. Breaking news this morning. Victoria Ashford, CEO of Ashford Automotive, narrowly survived a high-speed crash on Interstate 85. Sources say her vehicle, a prototype of the company's new Alpha 7 model, experienced catastrophic brake failure at speeds exceeding 160 miles per hour. Ms. Ashford sustained only minor injuries thanks to the actions of an unidentified Good Samaritan who helped guide her vehicle to safety. Police are investigating the incident. Ms. Ashford was unavailable for comment, but released a statement thanking the mysterious stranger who saved her life. The identity of that individual remains unknown. Terry's blood went cold. Brake failure. Just like the fuel injector. Someone was trying to kill Victoria Ashford. And based on the sophistication of both attempts, someone who knew exactly what they were doing. Lewis turned to Terry. Boss, isn't that the lady who was here 2 weeks ago? Yes. The one you fixed the weird fuel injector for? Yes. Boss, Lewis's eyes widened with realization. That wasn't an accident, was it? The fuel injector thing. Someone messed with her car. Possibly. And now someone messed with her car again, but worse. Terry stared at the destroyed prototype on the TV screen, thought about Victoria sitting in his shop office, thought about destiny calling her pretty, Thought about those cold blue eyes that had just a flicker of loneliness behind them. Someone was trying to kill her. And Terry had proof, the fuel injector. He had kept it. Standard practice. Keep all replaced parts for 30 days in case of warranty disputes. He walked to the parts storage area, found the bin labeled with Victoria's work order, found the fuel injector. Under the industrial light, the contamination pattern was even more obvious. This wasn't natural. This was sabotage. "Boss," Lewis followed him, "what are you gonna do?" "Good question." The smart thing was nothing. Call the police maybe. Give them the part. Let professionals handle it, stay in his lane, fix cars, raise his daughter, pay his bills, stay safe. But Terry remembered Sarah in the hospital bed. Remembered the doctors saying, "Sorry, we did everything we could." Remembered holding Destiny while she cried for her mama. Remembered feeling helpless, worthless, too late. If someone was trying to kill Victoria Ashford, they would try again. And next time, she might not be lucky. Lewis, watch the shop. I need to make a delivery. Boss, this is crazy. Probably. You don't even know this woman. She needs help. There are a lot of people who need help. You can't save everyone. Terry thought about that. Lewis was right. You couldn't save everyone. Terry had learned that lesson the hardest way possible. But maybe you could save someone. Maybe that was enough. He grabbed the fuel injector, grabbed the work order, got in his pickup truck, drove to downtown Atlanta, parked in front of Ashford Automotive Headquarters, walked through glass doors into a lobby that probably cost more than his entire shop. The receptionist looked at him like he was a stain on the marble floor. "Can I help you?" "I need to see Victoria Ashford." "Ms. Ashford is not taking visitors. Do you have an appointment?" "No, but she'll want to see me." "I'm sorry, sir. Without an appointment, I cannot let you through." Terry set the fuel injector on her desk. "Give her this. Tell her the mechanic from Brooks Auto Repair found something important." The receptionist stared at the greasy car part like it was radioactive. "Sir, I cannot give Ms. Ashford a dirty car part." "Then call her assistant. Tell them I have evidence about her accident. Tell them someone sabotaged her car 2 weeks before the crash. Tell them I can prove it." The receptionist's expression changed. Fear, recognition. She picked up the phone. 5 minutes later, Terry was in an elevator going to the 20th floor. 5 minutes after that, he was sitting in Victoria Ashford's office. The office was enormous, windows overlooking Atlanta, furniture that cost more than cars, everything white and chrome and cold, like Victoria herself. She sat behind her desk, bandage on her forehead, bruises on her arms, but alive, breathing, lucky. "Mr. Brooks," her voice was flat, "my receptionist said you have evidence about my accident." Terry set the fuel injector on her pristine white desk. "2 weeks ago, I fixed your fuel injector. I told you it was clogged with bad gas. I lied." Victoria's eyes sharpened. "Explain." "This injector wasn't clogged by bad gas. It was contaminated deliberately. Someone introduced a foreign substance into your fuel line, caused the clog, made your car fail in a way that looked natural." "You're saying someone sabotaged my vehicle?" "Yes, ma'am." "And you didn't think to mention this 2 weeks ago?" "2 weeks ago I thought maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was seeing patterns where there weren't any. Maybe I was paranoid." Terry leaned forward. "But then you crashed. Brake failure. That's not coincidence. Someone is trying to kill you, Ms. Ashford, and they're getting more aggressive." Victoria was quiet, studied the fuel injector, studied Terry. Why would someone want to kill me? That's the question you need to answer. Who benefits from your death? Dozens of people, competitors, disgruntled employees, board members who don't like my leadership style. Who has access to your vehicles? My personal staff, the engineering team, executive board, security. That's a long list. Yes. They sat in silence, the weight of it settling between them like snow. Finally, Victoria spoke. The police ruled the crash mechanical failure. They're not investigating foul play. Because they don't have evidence, now you do. A dirty fuel injector and a mechanic's theory. Not exactly courtroom ready. No, but it's a start. Victoria stood, walked to the windows, looked out over the city she controlled, or thought she controlled. Mr. Brooks, why are you doing this? You could have thrown that part away, forgotten about it. This isn't your problem. Terry thought about Sarah, about Destiny asking, "Are you a princess?" About standing under the Honda Accord working on ordinary problems with extraordinary skills because it was safe and small and manageable. My wife died 3 years ago, cancer. I had all the money in the world, all the connections, all the best doctors. None of it mattered. She died anyway, and I couldn't do anything to stop it. He paused. Maybe I can't save everyone, but if I can help save someone, I'm going to try. Victoria turned from the window, really looked at him for the first time, not at his coveralls or his calloused hands, at him. I can't pay you, not officially. If someone inside my company is trying to kill me, I can't risk them knowing I suspect anything. I'm not asking for payment. Then what are you asking for? Access to the prototype wreckage, to your maintenance records, to whatever information I need to figure out who's doing this before they try again. That's confidential company information. I could be sued for sharing it. You could also be dead. Victoria smiled, small, bitter, fair point. She walked back to her desk, pulled out a business card, wrote something on the back, handed it to Terry. This is my personal cell phone, and the address to the impound lot where they're keeping the wreckage. I'll call ahead, tell them to give you access. Terry took the card. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. If someone is trying to kill me and you start investigating, you become a target too. I'll be careful. Mr. Brooks. Victoria's voice was serious now. No ice, just concern. You have a daughter, a little girl who needs her father. Whatever skills you have, whatever past you're hiding, is it worth risking her losing you? Terry stood, met her eyes. My daughter deserves to grow up in a world where people help each other, where standing by and doing nothing isn't acceptable. I can't teach her that if I don't live it. He walked to the door. Mr. Brooks. He turned. Thank you. You're welcome, Ms. Ashford. That night after Destiny was asleep, Terry sat at his kitchen table. The business card with Victoria's personal number sat in front of him. On his laptop, he had pulled up everything he could find about Ashford Automotive. The company history, the executive board, the recent news. Victoria's father, Richard Ashford, had died 6 months ago. Car accident. Went off a cliff on a mountain road. The investigation ruled it driver error. No evidence of foul play. But now, looking at it through a different lens, Terry saw the pattern. Richard Ashford dies in a car accident. 6 months later, his daughter survives 2 attempts on her life, both made to look like accidents, both involving vehicles. Someone was systematically eliminating the Ashford family. The question was why? And the answer, Terry suspected, was money. It was always money. Ashford Automotive was worth $680 million. That kind of money made people do terrible things, made them patient, made them clever, made them willing to kill. Terry opened the company's financial reports, public record for a company this size, started reading, looking for anomalies, patterns, red flags. At 2 in the morning, he found it. A discrepancy in the R&D budget for the Alpha 7 prototype. $67 million allocated. But if you dug into the line items, added up the actual expenses, it came to only $54 million. $13 million missing. Someone was embezzling, and they were willing to kill to keep that secret hidden. Terry sat back, rubbed his eyes. This was bigger than a sabotaged fuel injector, bigger than brake lines. This was corporate fraud on a massive scale. And he was just a mechanic. But he used to be more than that. Used to be a lot more. Terry walked to his bedroom closet, pushed aside boxes of Sarah's things he couldn't bear to throw away, found the box he had buried in the back, the one he hadn't opened in 3 years. Inside were his diplomas, MIT, mechanical engineering, summa cum laude, another certificate, Mercedes Formula One racing team, chief racing engineer, 8 years of service, a folder of patents, hybrid engine technology, his name on every one. And buried at the bottom, a photo, Terry and Sarah at his MIT graduation, both of them young, happy, full of dreams about changing the world with brilliant engineering. Before cancer, before death, before ordinary became the only safe option. Terry closed the box, put it back in the closet. But he kept the photo. The next morning, Terry dropped Destiny at school, told Lewis to handle the shop for the day, drove to the impound lot. The guard at the gate checked his ID against Victoria's authorization, waved him through. The prototype sat in the far corner, destroyed. The carbon fiber body was crushed like aluminum foil. The doors were torn off, glass everywhere. That Victoria had survived this was a miracle. That she had survived it with only minor injuries was impossible. Unless someone had been there to help her. Terry walked around the wreckage, took photos, made notes, then he got to work. The brake system was completely destroyed in the crash, but brake failures left evidence. Brake fluid, metal shavings, wear patterns. Terry collected samples, used his phone to take macro photos, documented everything. After 2 hours, he found what he was looking for. The brake line had been cut, not fully, just partially. A precision cut that would hold under normal pressure but fail catastrophically under high-speed braking. It would have taken someone with detailed knowledge of hydraulic systems, someone with access to the vehicle before Victoria drove it. Someone inside the company. Terry bagged the evidence, sent the photos to his email, then he needed one more thing. Richard Ashford's car. He called Victoria. "Where is your father's wrecked vehicle?" "Why?" "If someone killed him the same way they tried to kill you, there might be evidence. A pattern. Something the first investigation missed." Silence on the other end. "Then it's in a different lot. Long-term storage. I'll text you the address." 2 hours later, Terry stood in front of Richard Ashford's destroyed Range Rover. 6 months of sitting in weather had degraded it, but Terry knew what to look for. He found the brake line, same precision cut, same methodology. But he found something else too. Hidden behind the dashboard, still intact despite the crash, a small black box, not factory installed, aftermarket. Terry recognized it immediately. A dashcam with internal storage. His hands trembled as he pried it free. The SD card was still inside, water damaged, corroded, but maybe, just maybe, recoverable. Terry drove straight to a data recovery specialist he knew, a guy who had worked with him in Formula One, owed him a favor. How long? Terry asked. 72 hours, maybe. No promises with water damage this bad. Try, please, it's important. 3 days felt like 3 years. Terry worked at the shop, picked up Destiny from school, cooked dinner, helped with homework, pretended everything was normal. But at night he couldn't sleep, kept thinking about the dash cam, about what might be on it, about proof. On the third day, his phone rang. I got it, the data recovery specialist said. Most of the files are corrupted, but I recovered the last recording. Audio only, video is toast. Send it to me. Terry listened to the file in his truck, parked outside the data recovery shop, hands shaking, heart pounding. Richard Ashford's voice. Marcus, what are you doing? Another voice, older, controlled. What I should have done years ago. This company is mine. I built it while you played golf and gave speeches. You're insane. I'll expose everything, the offshore accounts, the embezzlement, all of it. No, you won't. Sounds of struggle, Richard shouting, the car swerving, then impact, metal crunching, glass breaking, silence. Terry sat in his truck, listening to a murder, listening to proof. He knew that second voice. Marcus Whitmore, CFO, Victoria's father's most trusted advisor. The man who killed Richard Ashford. The man who was trying to kill Victoria. Terry called her immediately. I found something. We need to meet, now. They met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. Terry brought his laptop, played the audio file. Victoria's face went white, then red, then stone. That's Marcus, she whispered. That's his voice. I know. He killed my father. Yes. Victoria's hands clenched into fists. We take this to the police, right now, today. Not yet. What do you mean not yet? This is murder, recorded, admissible. It's audio from a damaged SD card. His lawyers will challenge authenticity. Chain of custody, claim it's fabricated. We need more. We need to catch him in the act, make him confess again, on camera, with witnesses. Victoria stared at him. You want to set a trap? Yes. Using me as bait. Using both of us. He knows I'm helping you now. He'll come after the evidence, after us. We use that. This is dangerous. He's already dangerous. At least this way we control when and where. Victoria was quiet for a long time. Then she nodded. What's the plan? Over the next week, Terry and Victoria prepared. They couldn't trust anyone inside the company. Couldn't risk word getting back to Marcus. Terry analyzed the financial records more carefully, traced the offshore accounts, built an airtight case. $13 million stolen over 5 years, hidden in shell companies, laundered through international banks. Victoria quietly secured the dashcam audio with her personal lawyer, made copies, stored them safely. Then they set the trap. Victoria scheduled a routine board meeting. Nothing special, just quarterly reports, but she added one item to the agenda, casual, innocuous. Oh, one more thing. We recovered additional evidence from my father's accident, a dashcam we didn't know existed. I'm having it analyzed. Should have results next week. Terry watched Marcus through the security camera Victoria had secretly installed, saw his face, saw the flash of panic, quick, controlled, but there. That night, Marcus made his move. The dashcam wasn't in the evidence locker. It was in Victoria's personal safe at Ashford headquarters, top floor, private office, accessible only by executive key card. Marcus had a key card. Terry waited in the dark, hidden behind Victoria's desk, camera rolling on his phone, recording everything. At 11:45 p.m. the door opened. Marcus Whitmore stepped inside, 58 years old, gray hair, expensive suit, the face of respectability. And a murderer. Marcus went straight to the safe, entered the code, pulled out the evidence bag with the dash cam. "I wouldn't do that if I were you." Marcus spun around, found Terry standing in the shadows, phone pointed at him, recording light visible. "Who the hell are you?" "Someone who's really tired of rich people thinking they can get away with murder." Marcus's face twisted. Recognition, the mechanic, the one helping Victoria. "You don't understand what you're interfering with." "I understand perfectly. $13 million, that's what you stole. Your best friend trusted you, made you CFO, gave you access to everything, and you betrayed him, killed him when he found out." Richard was weak. He cared more about legacy than profit. "I built this company while he played the visionary." "So you killed him." "He was going to expose me, destroy everything I worked for. I had no choice." "There's always a choice." Marcus pulled something from his jacket, a gun, small, silver, deadly. "Give me the phone." Terry kept his hands visible, phone still recording. "You going to shoot me in your CEO's office, with cameras everywhere?" "I'll say you broke in, that you attacked me, self-defense." "Victoria knows I'm here." "Then I'll kill her too. Should have done it right the first time." Marcus aimed the gun. His finger tightened on the trigger. Terry dove. Not toward Marcus, toward the window. His body crashed through the glass, 20 stories up, wind rushing, ground approaching. But Terry had planned this, counted on it. The window cleaner's platform, 6 feet below, controlled descent rig attached, safety harness hidden under his jacket. He caught the platform, harness engaged, swung wild but held. Above him, Marcus stared down in shock. Below, police cars screeched to a stop, lights flashing, officers pouring out. Victoria had called them the moment Marcus entered the building. Terry climbed back up, through the broken window, found Marcus standing frozen, gun still in hand, confession still on recording. "You're finished," Terry said. Marcus looked at the phone, at the broken window, at the police streaming into the building. He ran. Out of the office, down the hallway Terry pursued, younger, faster, Marine training kicking in. Marcus hit the emergency stairs. Terry followed. They spiraled down 20 floors, 15, 10. At the lobby level, Marcus burst through the doors, straight into a wall of police, guns drawn, shouting commands. "Drop the weapon." Marcus froze, looked at the gun in his hand like he'd forgotten it was there, looked at Terry, looked at the police. Then he dropped it, raised his hands, defeated. "Marcus Whitmore, you're under arrest for the murder of Richard Ashford and the attempted murder of Victoria Ashford." They cuffed him, read him his rights, led him away. Marcus looked at Terry one last time. "You're just a mechanic, how did you?" "I'm a lot of things. Mechanic is just one of them." Victoria appeared from the crowd, ran to Terry, threw her arms around him. "You're insane. You jumped out a window." "Controlled descent, very safe mostly." "Don't ever do that again." "I won't promise." They stood there, holding each other, while police processed the scene, while evidence was collected, while justice finally caught up to Marcus Whitmore. Later in the parking garage, Victoria found Terry sitting on the hood of his pickup truck. Destiny was asleep in the passenger seat. Lewis had dropped her off an hour ago. "You brought your daughter." Couldn't find a sitter, and she sleeps through anything. Victoria looked at the little girl, peaceful and dreaming, protected and loved. I owe you my life twice now. You don't owe me anything. Terry, you could have died tonight. Marcus had a gun. You jumped out a window. But I didn't die, and now you're safe. Marcus is arrested. The evidence is solid. He'll go to prison. Victoria was quiet. Then, come work for me. Chief Engineering Officer, $250,000 salary, full benefits, college fund for destiny. I'm a mechanic. You're so much more than that, and you know it. Terry looked at his daughter, thought about Brooks Auto Repair, thought about being ordinary and safe and small. Then he thought about the last 3 weeks, about using his brain again, about solving problems that mattered, about making a difference. Let me think about it. Victoria handed him an envelope. That's $15,000 for your time, for the investigation, for nearly getting killed. I said I wasn't doing this for money. And I said you can't refuse payment for services rendered. Take it, pay your mortgage, fix your hydraulic lift, buy Destiny something nice. Terry took the envelope, not because he wanted to, but because refusing would insult her, and because $15,000 would change his life. Thank you. No, thank you. She walked to her car, then turned back. By the way, I never asked. Why did you risk your life saving mine? That first time on the highway, you didn't know me, didn't owe me anything. Why? Terry thought about Sarah, about lost chances, about standing by while bad things happen to good people. Because someone had to. Victoria smiled, got in her car, drove away. Terry sat in the darkness of the parking garage, $15,000 in his hands, his daughter asleep beside him, evidence of a murderer caught on his phone, justice served but not yet complete. Marcus was arrested, but trials took time, bail hearings, legal maneuvering. The real fight was just beginning. Terry looked at Destiny, so small, so innocent, so trusting that her father would always protect her. He had protected Victoria, caught a killer, made a difference. But at what cost? What danger had he invited into their lives? The war wasn't over. It had only just begun. The call came at 6 in the morning. Terry was already awake, sitting at his kitchen table, coffee cold in front of him, staring at the news on his phone. Marcus Whitmore's mugshot. Headlines screaming automotive CFO arrested for murder. The arrest had happened 3 days ago. Terry's phone had been ringing non-stop since. Reporters, lawyers, random people offering congratulations or threats. He ignored them all. Except this call, Victoria's number. He made bail. Terry's stomach dropped. What? $2 million, posted by his lawyer an hour ago. He's under house arrest with electronic monitoring, but he's out. How is that possible? We have him on tape, confession, gun, everything. Money buys lawyers, lawyers buy arguments. Judge ruled he's not a flight risk given his ties to the community. Ankle monitor, passport surrendered, but free until trial. Terry stood, walked to Destiny's bedroom door, checked that she was still asleep, safe. When is the trial? Months away, maybe longer. His lawyers are already filing motions, challenging the dashcam evidence, claiming illegal search, entrapment. They're throwing everything at the wall. The confession I recorded. They're claiming duress, that you threatened him, forced the confession. It's garbage, but they're making us fight for every inch. Terry felt the weight of it settling. This wasn't over. Marcus was out there, angry, desperate, with resources and connections and nothing to lose. What do you need me to do? I don't know, Victoria's voice cracked, just slightly. For the first time in my life, I'm truly scared. Not for me, for you, for Destiny. He knows you caught him, knows you have evidence. You're a threat. I'm coming over. Terry, you have Destiny. You have the shop. You can't just drop everything. Yes, I can. Give me 2 hours. He hung up, got Destiny ready for school in record time, called Lewis, asked him to handle the shop for a few days. Lewis didn't ask questions. Good kid. Loyal kid. Then Terry drove to Victoria's house. He had never been there before, only knew the address from company records. It was in Buckhead, the wealthy part of Atlanta, where houses were called estates, where gates were automatic, where normal people didn't belong. The guard at the gate checked his ID, made a call, waved him through. Victoria's house was enormous, modern, all glass and steel and clean lines, the kind of architecture that showed wealth without shouting it. Terry parked his rusty pickup truck next to her Mercedes. The contrast was almost funny. She met him at the door. No makeup, hair in a messy ponytail, sweatpants and a t-shirt. She looked young, vulnerable, human. You came. I said I would. She let him in. The house was beautiful inside, minimalist, everything white and chrome, but cold, like a museum, like no one actually lived there. Coffee, she offered. Please. They sat in her kitchen, drank coffee, didn't talk about Marcus, didn't talk about danger, just sat in comfortable silence. Two people who had been strangers 4 weeks ago, now connected by violence and investigation and something neither of them wanted to name. Finally, Victoria spoke. There's something else, something worse. Terry set down his coffee cup. What? Child Protective Services contacted me yesterday. Someone filed a complaint about you. Terry's blood went cold. What kind of complaint? That you're exposing Destiny to dangerous situations, that you brought her to crime scenes, that you're involving her in adult problems. Victoria's hands clenched into fists. It's Marcus. I know it is. He's coming after you through your daughter. The world tilted. Everything Terry had feared, everything he had tried to protect Destiny from, coming true. Can he do that from house arrest? He has lawyers, they can file on his behalf, and technically the complaint is anonymous, but I know it's him. This is how he operates. Find the weak point, attack. Terry stood, paced, his mind raced. I need a lawyer. I already hired one. Best family law attorney in Atlanta. She's on retainer. She'll represent you, no cost. Victoria, I can't let you pay for my legal defense. Why not? This is my fault. Marcus is targeting you because you helped me. The least I can do is make sure you don't lose your daughter because of it. Terry wanted to argue, wanted to refuse, but pride was a luxury he couldn't afford, not when Destiny was at stake. Thank you. Don't thank me. Just let me help you the way you helped me. The CPS investigation started that afternoon. A social worker named Angela Rodriguez came to Terry's apartment. Young, professional, thorough, she looked at everything. The kitchen, Destiny's bedroom, the bathroom, checked for food, safety hazards, signs of neglect. Terry's apartment was small, old, the carpet was stained. The walls needed paint, but it was clean, safe, full of love. Destiny's room had books and toys and artwork on the walls. The refrigerator had healthy food. The bills were paid. Still, Angela took notes, asked questions. Her face gave nothing away. Mr. Brooks, it says here you work as a mechanic. What are your work hours? 8 to 6, usually. Sometimes later if there's an emergency repair. And where is Destiny during those hours? School until 3. Then she comes to the shop. does homework in the office, helps with small tasks, filing, answering phones. So she spends several hours a day at an auto repair shop. Yes, ma'am. Is that an appropriate environment for a 7-year-old? Terry felt defensive anger rising, pushed it down. It's supervised, safe, educational. She's learning about engines, math, customer service, and she's with me. That matters more than being in some fancy after-school program. Angela made more notes. There have been allegations that you've exposed Destiny to dangerous situations. Can you address that? I've been helping Ms. Ashford investigate threats against her. Destiny has never been present during any dangerous activity. She's either at school or with trusted friends. The allegations are false. But you were involved in the arrest of Marcus Whitmore, a violent confrontation in a corporate office. Is that correct? I was not with my daughter during that incident. She was safely at home with my employee. I made sure of that. Angela's expression softened, just slightly. I'm not the enemy, Mr. Brooks. I'm trying to make sure Destiny is safe and cared for. That's all. Then you should know she's the safest, most cared for child in Atlanta. I would die for her, have almost died for her. Everything I do is for her. I believe you believe that, but intention doesn't always equal outcome. She interviewed Destiny next. Terry had to leave the room, pace the hallway, listen to muffled voices through the door, couldn't hear words, just tones, Destiny's voice. Happy, confident, talking about school, friends, her father. After 30 minutes, Angela emerged. Mr. Brooks, I'll be filing my report this week. You should hear from us within 10 days. And I can't discuss my findings with you at this time, but I will say your daughter is a remarkable child, well-adjusted, articulate, clearly loved. It wasn't a guarantee, but it wasn't a condemnation either. After Angela left, Destiny came out of her room. Daddy, did I do okay? Terry scooped her up, held her tight. You did perfect, pumpkin, perfect. The lady asked me if you ever hurt me. I told her you'd never hurt anyone unless you had to protect someone. Was that right? That was right. She asked if I felt safe. I said I always feel safe with you. Good girl. Destiny pulled back, looked at him with those two wise eyes. Daddy, are they going to take me away? Terry's heart shattered. No, baby, never, I promise. Mama used to make promises too, but she still left. That's different. Mama didn't choose to leave. She fought so hard to stay. This is different. No one is taking you from me. I won't let them. Destiny hugged him again, tighter this time. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Pumpkin, more than anything in the world. That night after Destiny was asleep, Terry sat in his kitchen, stared at his phone, finally called Victoria. How did it go? She asked. I don't know. The social worker gave nothing away, said I'd hear in 10 days. My lawyer will follow up, make sure everything is handled properly. Victoria, I need to ask you something. Anything. Why are you doing this? You barely know me, you don't owe me anything. Why go to all this trouble? Victoria was quiet for a long time. Then, because you're a good man, and good men are rare, and I'm tired of watching good men suffer while bad men prosper. That's not an answer. Yes, it is. You're just afraid to hear it. Afraid of what? That someone might actually care about you, that you might not have to do this alone anymore. Terry's throat tightened. I've been alone for 3 years, since Sarah died. I'm used to it. That doesn't mean you have to stay that way. They talked for 2 hours about everything. Nothing, Sarah, Richard, loss, fear, hope. Somewhere in that conversation, something shifted. Walls came down. Guards dropped. Two people who had been surviving separately realized they might be better together. The next morning, Victoria called with news. I'm holding an emergency board meeting. Tomorrow, I need the board to formally remove Marcus from all positions, strip his shares, make it official that he's no longer part of this company. Doesn't his arrest already do that? Legally, he's still a shareholder until convicted or the board votes to remove him. He's using that technicality to fight me, filing shareholder lawsuits, blocking decisions, claiming I'm acting emotionally. I need the board to cut him off completely. Is that wise? If he knows you're coming after him publicly, he might escalate. I'm counting on it. I want him angry, desperate, making mistakes. And I want it on the record that Ashford Automotive stands with integrity, that we don't protect criminals. Let me be there at the meeting. Terry, you're not an executive. The board won't allow it. Then make me a consultant. Give me a temporary title. I deserve to see this through. Victoria considered this. Okay, you're the new chief technical advisor, hired this morning. Congratulations. What does a chief technical advisor do? Whatever I tell him to, including standing next to me at tomorrow's board meeting and looking intimidating. Terry almost smiled. I can do that. The board meeting was scheduled for 2 p.m. Terry wore the only suit he owned, black, bought for Sarah's funeral. Hadn't worn it since. It still fit but felt wrong, like wearing someone else's skin. Victoria picked him up at 1:30. She wore a power suit, red, armor disguised as fashion. Her hair was perfect, makeup perfect, Ice Queen restored. But when she looked at Terry, her eyes were warm. Ready? No, but let's do it anyway. They drove to Ashford Automotive headquarters in her Mercedes, parked in the executive garage, took the private elevator to the 20th floor. The boardroom was massive, long table, leather chairs, windows overlooking the city. 12 board members were already seated, all men, all white, all over 50. They looked at Terry like he was a mistake. Marcus wasn't there, house arrest, electronic monitoring, but his lawyer was, sitting in Marcus's chair like he owned it. Victoria walked to the head of the table. Terry stood behind her, silent, present, a reminder that she wasn't alone. Gentlemen, thank you for coming on short notice. I've called this emergency meeting to address the criminal charges against Marcus Whitmore and to vote on his immediate removal from all company positions. The room erupted, voices overlapping, denials, demands for due process, accusations that Victoria was overreacting. Marcus's lawyer stood. Ms. Ashford, my client is innocent until proven guilty. This board has no right to remove him based on unproven allegations. Victoria's voice cut through the noise like a blade. Unproven. Your client was arrested with a weapon, caught on camera confessing to murder. The evidence is overwhelming. Evidence that will be challenged in court. Evidence obtained through questionable means. Until a jury convicts, Mr. Whitmore remains a shareholder with full rights. Then I'll present that evidence to this board. Right now, let them decide. Victoria nodded to Terry. He connected his laptop to the projector, pulled up the presentation they had spent 3 days preparing. Not just accusations, proof. Slide 1. The Alpha 7 prototype brake failure. Forensic analysis shows the brake line was deliberately cut, not failed, cut, with precision tools, by someone with detailed knowledge of hydraulic systems. Terry clicked to the next slide. A photo of the cut brake line, magnified. The precision of the cut was obvious even to laymen. Slide 2, my vehicle. the fuel injector failure that preceded the prototype crash by 2 weeks. Analysis shows deliberate contamination. This wasn't bad gas. This was sabotage. Another slide, another photo, the pattern of contamination clear. Slide 3. Richard Ashford's accident 6 months ago ruled driver error, but when re-examined with the new evidence the pattern emerges. Cut brake lines, same precision, same methodology, same killer. Murmurs around the table, shock, denial, slowly turning to belief. Victoria continued, slide after slide, financial records showing $13 million missing, offshore accounts, shell companies, all traced back to Marcus. Security footage showing him accessing the prototype garage the night before the crash. Phone records showing calls to known criminals. And finally, the dashcam audio from Richard Ashford's car, recovered from the wreckage. Richard's voice, Marcus's voice, the moment of murder captured forever. The room was silent when it finished, silent as graves. Gentleman, Marcus Whitmore murdered my father, attempted to murder me, twice, embezzled tens of millions of dollars, all to gain control of this company. The evidence is irrefutable. I'm asking this board to vote. Remove Marcus Whitmore from all positions, strip his shares, ban him from company property, and support full prosecution. One of the older board members, a man named Harrison, spoke. His voice was shaky. Victoria, I had no idea. We all trusted Marcus for 20 years. He exploited that trust, used it to steal, to kill. Now we correct that mistake. Harrison looked around the table, saw the other members nodding, saw the evidence, saw the truth. I move to remove Marcus Whitmore from all positions and strip his shares pending criminal conviction. I second, another member said. All in favor. 12 hands went up, unanimous. Victoria's shoulders dropped, just slightly, relief. Thank you, I'll have the legal documents prepared by end of day. Marcus's lawyer stood, his face was red. This is illegal, a violation of shareholder rights, we'll sue. Sue all you want, Victoria said coldly. Your client is a murderer. This company will not be associated with him for one more second. The meeting adjourned, board members filed out. Some stopped to shake Victoria's hand, apologize for not seeing sooner, express support. Others just left, embarrassed, complicit in their ignorance. When they were alone, Victoria turned to Terry. Her eyes were bright, wet. We did it. You did it. No, I couldn't have done this without you. Terry wanted to say something meaningful, something worthy of the moment, but words felt inadequate, so he just nodded. Victoria smiled, reached out, touched his arm. The gesture was small, simple, but it felt like everything. They drove back to her house in silence, the kind of silence that felt comfortable, safe. When they arrived, Victoria didn't get out of the car immediately. Stay for dinner, I'll cook, or order. I'm not actually sure I remember how to cook. Terry smiled. I should get Destiny, she's at Lewis's house. Bring her, I'd like to see her. Something in Victoria's voice made Terry look at her, really look. She wasn't asking him to stay for dinner. She was asking for something else, something bigger, something that scared them both. Okay. They picked up Destiny from Lewis's house. She was covered in grease. Apparently Lewis had been teaching her to change oil. Destiny was thrilled. Daddy, I did a whole oil change by myself. Well, Lewis helped, but I did most of it. That's great, Pumpkin. And Lewis said if I keep practicing, I could be a mechanic just like you. Terry ruffled her hair, tried not to think about how he had once been so much more than a mechanic, tried not to wonder if he'd ever be that again. At Victoria's house, they ordered pizza. Destiny was shocked that someone as rich as Victoria ate pizza. Victoria was shocked that pizza could be this good. They ate in the kitchen, laughed, told stories. For a few hours they were just people, not CEO and mechanic, not investigator and victim, just people. After dinner, Destiny explored the house, ran through rooms bigger than their entire apartment, came back with reports. Miss Victoria, you have 7 bathrooms. 7. Why do you need 7 bathrooms? Victoria laughed, actually laughed. I don't know, the house came that way. And you have a pool, can I swim? I don't have any children's swimsuits. That's okay, I can swim in my clothes. Destiny, Terry warned, don't impose. She's not imposing, but swimming in January might be cold. Destiny's face fell, then brightened. Can I watch TV? You have a really big TV. Sure, you know how to work a remote. I'm 7, not a baby. Victoria showed Destiny to the media room, set her up with cartoons, then returned to the kitchen where Terry was cleaning up. You don't have to do that. Force of habit. I clean up after Destiny. Might as well clean up after myself too. They worked in silence, loading the dishwasher, wiping counters, normal domestic tasks that felt strange in this palace of a house. When they finished, Victoria poured 2 glasses of wine, handed one to Terry. They sat in the living room, on a couch that cost more than Terry's truck. Can I ask you something? Victoria said quietly. Sure. Do you regret it, leaving Formula One, giving up your career? Do you ever wish you had chosen differently? Terry thought about that, really thought. Every day I miss the work, miss the challenge, miss feeling like I was making something important. But then I look at Destiny, see her smile, hear her laugh, know that she has a father who's present and loves her, and I realize I made the right choice. But you gave up so much. I gained more. Career is just what you do. Family is who you are. Victoria was quiet, staring into her wine glass like it held answers. I never wanted a family, never saw the point, seemed like a distraction, a weakness, something that would make me vulnerable. And now I see Destiny, see how much she loves you, how safe she feels with you, and I wonder what I've been missing, wonder if building empires is really enough. Terry set down his wine glass, turned to face her. Victoria, what are you saying? She met his eyes, those blue eyes that had been ice when they met, now warm, uncertain, scared. I'm saying I don't want to be alone anymore. I'm saying watching you with Destiny makes me want something I never thought I wanted. I'm saying, she paused, took a breath. I'm saying I think I'm falling in love with you. The words hung in the air, heavy, true, terrifying. Terry's heart pounded. Victoria, I'm not part of your world. I'm a mechanic. You're a billionaire. I live in a tiny apartment. You live in a mansion. I have a 7-year-old daughter. You have a corporation. This doesn't make sense. Love doesn't make sense. It just is. I haven't been with anyone since Sarah. Haven't even thought about it. I don't know if I can. Don't know if I should. I'm not asking you to marry me, Terry. I'm just asking if you feel it too, this thing between us, this connection. Tell me I'm not imagining it. Terry thought about the last month, thought about working late investigating Marcus, thought about shared fear and shared victories, thought about how Victoria had defended him to CPS, hired him lawyers, stood beside him when she could have walked away. You're not imagining it. Victoria's eyes closed, like she had been holding her breath. Okay. But I need you to understand something. I come with baggage, a daughter who needs stability, a dead wife I'll never stop loving. Debt, struggle, ordinary problems. If you want me, you get all of that. I want all of that. Why? Because you're real. Because you make me feel human. Because when I'm with you, I remember who I used to be before I became this cold corporate machine. Because destiny looks at me like I could be someone worth knowing. Because you saved my life and didn't ask for anything in return. Victoria's voice broke. Because I'm tired of being alone in a big house with 7 bathrooms and no one to share it with. Terry reached out, took her hand. Her fingers were cold, trembling. He warmed them with his own. I can't promise I won't mess this up. Can't promise I know how to do this. It's been 3 years since I dated, since I thought about anyone but destiny and survival. I've never dated, not really. I've had business dinners and professional relationships and carefully calculated social interactions, but never just someone who knew me, really knew me, saw me without the suit and makeup and corporate mask. I see you. I know that's what scares me. They sat in silence, hands linked, two broken people finding something whole in each other. From the media room, Destiny's voice called out, "Daddy, this movie is scary. Can you come watch with me?" Terry smiled, stood, duty calls. Can I come too? You want to watch a 7-year-old's movie. I want to be part of whatever this is, you and her, this family you've built if you'll let me. Terry pulled her to her feet, didn't let go of her hand. Come on. They went to the media room. Destiny was curled up on the massive sectional, wrapped in a blanket, watching an animated movie about a girl and a dragon. Daddy, Miss Victoria, sit here. She patted the couch beside her. They sat. Destiny immediately curled into Terry's side. Then, without asking, reached out and took Victoria's hand, pulled her closer. This is nice, like a family. You know what would make it better? What pumpkin? Popcorn. Victoria laughed, stood. I'll make popcorn if I can figure out how. She left. Destiny looked up at Terry, those wise eyes seeing too much. You like her. What makes you say that? You smile different when she's around, like you used to smile at Mama. Terry's chest tightened. Is that okay if I like her? Destiny thought about this, serious and considering. Mama would want you to be happy. She told me that before she died. She said your daddy is going to be so sad, but I need you to help him remember to be happy again. I've been trying really hard, but I'm just a kid. Maybe Miss Victoria can help too. You've been trying to make me happy. Every day. That's why I don't complain when we have cereal instead of pancakes. Why I don't cry when I miss Mama. Why I tell you you're doing good even when you're not. Because Mama asked me to. Terry pulled Destiny into his lap, held her tight. This little girl carrying such a big burden, trying to heal her father when she needed healing too. You don't have to do that, pumpkin. You're allowed to be sad, allowed to miss Mama, allowed to need things. That's not your job. But I want to help. You help by being you, by being happy and smart and kind. That's enough, more than enough. Victoria returned with popcorn. Burned, slightly smoking, she looked embarrassed. I may have forgotten to set a timer. Destiny giggled. It's okay, burnt popcorn is still good. They ate burnt popcorn, watched the movie. Destiny fell asleep halfway through, head on Terry's shoulder, breathing soft and peaceful. She's beautiful, Victoria whispered. You did good, raising her alone, keeping her happy. She's proof that you're a good man. She's proof that Sarah was a good mother. I'm just trying not to mess up what Sarah started. You're more than that, don't sell yourself short. Terry looked at Victoria, really looked. This woman who had been a stranger 5 weeks ago, now sitting in her media room sharing burnt popcorn and whispered conversations while his daughter slept. What happens now, he asked, with us? I don't know, but I'd like to find out. It won't be easy. We're from different worlds. So we build a new world, one that fits both of us. You make it sound simple. Maybe it is. Maybe we've been making it complicated because we're scared. I am scared. Me too. They sat in the darkness, the movie playing, Destiny sleeping, two people standing at the edge of something new, something scary, something that might be worth the risk. Later, Terry carried Destiny to his truck. She barely woke, just mumbled something about dragons and popcorn. Victoria walked them out. At the truck, she stopped him. Terry, about what I said about falling in love. You don't have to say it back. Don't have to feel the same way. I just needed you to know. Terry adjusted Destiny in his arms. She was getting heavier, growing up. Soon she'd be too big to carry. Time moved whether you were ready or not. I'm not ready to say it. Not yet, but I'm not running away either. That's something. Victoria smiled. That's everything. He drove home through Atlanta streets, Destiny sleeping in the passenger seat, his mind racing, replaying the evening, Victoria's confession, Destiny's approval, the feeling of sitting on a couch watching a movie like a family. At home, he carried Destiny to bed, tucked her in, watched her sleep. This little girl who had carried the weight of his happiness for 3 years, who had been trying to heal him when she needed healing too. I love you, Pumpkin, he whispered, more than anything, and I'm going to do better, going to let you be a kid, going to stop putting my grief on your shoulders. In his own bed, sleep didn't come easy. His mind wouldn't stop, thinking about Victoria, about feelings he thought died with Sarah, about second chances, about whether he deserved them. His phone buzzed, a text from Victoria. Thank you for tonight, for letting me be part of it, sweet dreams. He typed back, thank you for burnt popcorn and honesty and making me remember what hope feels like. 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Is hope enough? Terry thought about that, about the long road ahead, Marcus's trial, CPS investigation, 2 different worlds trying to merge, all the ways this could fail. But also, all the ways it could work. Hope is how everything starts. The CPS report came back a week later, favorable. Destiny could stay with Terry. The investigation was closed. No further action required. Terry cried when he read it. Big, ugly, grateful tears, called Victoria immediately. She cried too, happy tears, relief tears. Tears that said maybe the universe was on their side after all. That weekend, Victoria invited them over for dinner, but this time she cooked. Actually cooked, with Terry's help. They made spaghetti and meatballs. Destiny helped roll the meatballs, got flour everywhere, laughed when sauce splattered on her shirt. After dinner, they sat in Victoria's backyard. Even in winter, it was beautiful, lit with string lights, heated by propane heaters. Destiny chased fireflies that weren't there, made up games, was 7. I could get used to this, Victoria said softly. This. Having people in my house, noise, mess, life. It's not always this nice. Sometimes Destiny has tantrums. Sometimes I'm tired and short-tempered. Sometimes we argue about homework and bedtime and vegetables. I want that too, all of it. Terry took her hand. You're serious about this, about us? Completely. What will people say? You're bored, your friends, the media. They'll have opinions. Let them. I'm tired of living for other people's opinions. And when it gets hard, because it will, relationships always do. Then we work through it together. Isn't that what couples do? The word couple hung between them. New, official, real. We're a couple. Victoria smiled. If you want to be. Terry thought about Sarah, about loving someone so completely that losing them nearly destroyed you, about whether he could risk that pain again, whether he had the courage. Then he thought about Victoria, about how she made him feel alive, made him want more than survival, made him remember the man he used to be and imagine the man he could become. I want to be. She kissed him then, soft, tentative first kiss, like teenagers, awkward and perfect. When they pulled apart, Destiny was standing 3 feet away, watching, grinning. I knew it. Louis owes me $5. You bet Louis that I'd kiss Miss Victoria. He said you were too scared. I said you were brave. I was right. Victoria laughed, actually laughed. The sound was beautiful, free, young. Terry pulled Destiny into a hug, pulled Victoria too. The three of them standing in a backyard in Buckhead. An unlikely family, a strange family, but maybe, just maybe, the right family. Group hug, Destiny announced. This is what families do. And standing there, wrapped in warmth and hope and new beginnings, Terry thought maybe she was right. Maybe this was what families did. Marcus was still out there, the trial was coming. There would be more danger, more fear, more obstacles. But for now, in this moment, there was just peace. And peace, Terry decided, was enough. 6 months changed everything. Brooks Auto Repair wasn't just a 3-bay garage anymore. It was 8 bays, 12 employees, state-of-the-art equipment. The hydraulic lift Terry had worried about replacing was now one of 4, top of the line, German engineering. The money came from Victoria, not charity, investment. She had become a silent partner, 30% ownership. Terry ran operations. She provided capital. Together they were building something that mattered, a place where young kids from the neighborhood could learn a trade, could build a future, could become more than their circumstances. Louis was in college now, Georgia Tech, full scholarship funded by the Ashford Foundation. Victoria had created it 3 months ago, $50 million, for underprivileged students pursuing STEM degrees. Louis was the first recipient. He wouldn't be the last. Terry split his time now, 3 days at the garage, 2 days at Ashford Automotive, consulting on the Alpha 7 project. The prototype that nearly killed Victoria was being rebuilt. Better, safer, revolutionary. It would launch next year, change the automotive industry. Terry's name would be on the patents. His engineering genius no longer hidden, no longer wasted. Destiny was thriving. New school, better neighborhood. They had moved out of the cramped apartment into a house, 3 bedrooms, a yard, room to breathe. Victoria had helped with the down payment. Terry paid the mortgage. Pride and partnership balanced carefully. But the best change was the smallest one. The one that happened over dinner and homework and lazy Sunday mornings. The change that crept in slow like dawn. Terry had let himself love again. Victoria was at their house most nights, sometimes staying over, always careful around Destiny, always respectful of boundaries, but present, part of their lives, part of their family. They hadn't talked about marriage, hadn't talked about forever, just took it day by day, building something real out of something that started in chaos. But Marcus Whitmore hadn't forgotten. On house arrest for 6 months, ankle monitor, weekly check-ins, awaiting trial, the legal system moved slowly. His lawyers filed motion after motion, delays, continuances, challenges, anything to postpone Judgment Day. But Marcus knew time was running out. The evidence was too strong, the confession too clear. When the trial finally happened, he would lose, life in prison, everything gone. So he made arrangements, careful arrangements, untraceable arrangements. He had money hidden, accounts the prosecutors hadn't found, offshore, encrypted, protected, enough to buy one last insurance policy. He made calls. Prison phones were monitored, but Marcus was clever, used code words, vague references, reached out to old contacts, men who operated in shadows, men who solved problems for money. Eventually, he found Vincent, former enforcer for Atlanta crime families, now freelancing, professional, discreet, effective. "I need a favor," Marcus said carefully. "Someone has caused me significant business problems. I'd like those problems resolved, permanently." Vincent understood. "Name." "Terrence Brooks, mechanic, lives in Grant Park, has a daughter 7 years old." "You want the daughter too?" "No, just him, but use her as leverage if needed. Make it look like an accident, random violence, wrong place, wrong time. Cost you 50,000. Done." The money transferred through layers of shell companies. Clean, untraceable, blood money buying more blood. Vincent hired a specialist, a man named Reed. No last name, just Reed, professional killer. 23 successful jobs over 15 years, never caught, never suspected, ghost. Reed studied Terry for 2 weeks, learned his patterns, his routines, where he went when he was vulnerable. Destiny was the weak point. Terry picked her up from school every day at 3:15, drove her to the garage or home, same route, same time, predictable. On a Tuesday in October, Reed made his move. He followed Destiny from school, stayed back, professional distance, watched as she walked to the pickup area, waited for Terry's truck. But Terry was late that day, stuck at Ashford headquarters, meeting running long. He called the school, asked them to keep Destiny inside until he arrived. Reed saw the change, adapted, followed Destiny into the after-school program, waited outside, patient, predator. Terry arrived at 3:45, apologizing. Destiny ran to him, hugged him. Didn't notice the black SUV parked across the street, didn't see the man watching. But Terry did. Some instinct, some survival sense honed by Marine training and dangerous situations, made him look, made him notice. The man in the SUV, watching too intently, hand hidden below the window, posture wrong. Terry's blood went cold. He put Destiny in the truck, casual, normal, but his mind raced, assessed, planned. "Pumpkin, I need you to do something for me." "What, Daddy?" "Lie down on the floor, behind the seat, and stay there until I say it's okay." "But why?" "Because I said so. Now, please." Something in his voice made Destiny obey. She crawled down, curled up small. Terry covered her with his jacket. Then he drove, not toward home, not toward the garage, toward the police station, 3 miles away. The black SUV followed. Terry's hands were steady on the wheel, but his heart hammered. This wasn't paranoia. This was real. Someone was following them, someone dangerous. He called Victoria. She answered on the first ring. "Terry, you sound stressed." "I need you to listen carefully. Don't panic, but I think someone is following me and Destiny. Black SUV, tinted windows. I'm heading to the police station on Peachtree. I'm calling them now. Stay on the line." Terry watched the rearview mirror. The SUV stayed 3 cars back, professional tail, not trying to close distance, just tracking. "Daddy," Destiny's voice from the floor, small, scared. "What's happening?" "Everything's fine, baby. Just being extra careful." "Is someone trying to hurt us?" Terry's jaw clenched. His daughter shouldn't have to ask that question, shouldn't have to know that evil existed, that people hurt each other for money and revenge. "I won't let anyone hurt you, I promise." The police station appeared ahead. Terry pulled into the parking lot. The black SUV drove past, didn't stop, disappeared into traffic. Terry sat there, engine running, heart pounding, Destiny still on the floor. Victoria's voice on the phone. "Terry, are you there? Are you safe?" "We're at the station." The SUV drove away. "I'm sending security. Don't leave until they arrive." "Victoria, this is Marcus. It has to be. He's coming after me through Destiny." "We'll handle this. I'm calling my lawyers. We're getting a restraining order, enhanced security, whatever it takes." But legal protection only worked if the threat was legal, and men like Reed didn't care about restraining orders. Terry finally let Destiny up. She was crying, trying to be brave, failing. "I'm scared, Daddy." "I know, baby, me too." "Are we safe?" "We will be, I promise." But promises were easier to make than keep. Victoria's security team arrived. 2 former Secret Service agents. Armed, trained, they escorted Terry and Destiny home, swept the house, installed cameras, panic buttons, motion sensors. That night Victoria stayed over. Not romance, protection. She slept in the guest room. Terry slept in Destiny's room on the floor between his daughter and the door. Old rifle from his Marine days beside him. Loaded, ready. Morning came without incident, but the fear remained. At breakfast, Victoria laid out the plan. "I've hired private security, 24/7, for you and Destiny. They'll shadow you everywhere, keep you safe until Marcus's trial." "When is the trial?" 3 weeks. Prosecutor says it's solid. Marcus will go to prison for life." 3 weeks is a long time. A lot can happen. "Which is why you're not taking chances. No garage, no Ashford headquarters. You stay home with security until this is over." Terry wanted to argue, wanted to say he could handle himself. But looking at Destiny, still scared from yesterday, he knew Victoria was right. "Okay." Those 3 weeks crawled past like decades. Every car that drove by made Terry tense. Every knock on the door made him reach for his weapon. Every moment was hypervigilance and exhaustion. Destiny stopped sleeping through the night. Nightmares. Terry would find her crawling into his bed at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., shaking, crying, convinced someone was coming to hurt them. "Daddy, why do people want to hurt us?" "Because I helped someone, and that someone's enemy wants revenge." "Miss Victoria." "Yes." "So we're in danger because you saved her." Terry paused, thought about that. "Yes." "Would you do it again, save her, even knowing this would happen?" "Every single time." "Why?" "Because saving people is always right. Even when it's hard, even when it's dangerous. That's what good men do." Destiny was quiet, processing. Then, "I'm glad you're a good man, even if it's scary sometimes." Terry held her until she fell asleep, thought about choices, about consequences, about whether being good was worth the cost. Decided it was. The trial started on a Monday. Federal courthouse downtown, media circus, cameras everywhere, reporters shouting questions. Terry attended every day, sat in the gallery, watched as prosecutors laid out their case, financial records, forensic evidence, testimony from experts, the dashcam audio from Richard Ashford's murder, Terry's recording of Marcus's confession. Marcus sat at the defense table, expensive suit, calm expression, but his eyes were dead, cold, reptilian. On day 3, Victoria testified. Composed, professional, she walked the jury through the attempts on her life. The sabotaged fuel injector, the cut brake lines, the terror of losing control at 160 miles per hour. "Ms. Ashford," the prosecutor asked, "do you have any doubt that Marcus Whitmore tried to kill you?" "None whatsoever." "And your father, do you believe Marcus Whitmore murdered Richard Ashford?" Victoria's voice broke, just slightly. "I know he did. I heard my father's last words. Heard Marcus threaten him, heard the crash. Marcus killed my father for money, for power, for greed, and he tried to kill me for the same reasons." The jury watched her, believed her. How could they not? On day 5, Terry testified, explained how he found the evidence, analyzed the sabotage, connected the dots, recorded Marcus's confession. Marcus's lawyer tried to discredit him. "Mr. Brooks, you're a mechanic, not a forensic expert, not a detective. How can you be certain these weren't just mechanical failures?" "I have a degree in mechanical engineering from MIT. 8 years experience as chief racing engineer for Mercedes Formula One. I hold 8 patents in hybrid engine technology. I know the difference between failure and sabotage." The lawyer backed off. No more questions. On day 8, the jury deliberated. 3 hours, that's all it took. Guilty on all counts: murder, attempted murder, embezzlement, fraud. The judge sentenced him immediately. Life without parole, plus 50 years for the financial crimes. Marcus showed no emotion, just stared straight ahead, empty, defeated. As they led him away in chains, he looked at Terry. Their eyes met, and Marcus smiled, cold, knowing, like he knew something Terry didn't. A chill ran down Terry's spine. Outside the courthouse, reporters swarmed. Victoria made a statement, professional, grateful for justice, sad for her father, hopeful for the future. Terry stood beside her, hand on her back, present but silent, support without spectacle. When they finally escaped to Victoria's car, she collapsed, all the strength she had shown in court evaporating. "It's over, finally over." "Not quite." Victoria looked at him. "What do you mean? He's convicted, going to prison for life. What else is there?" That smile, when they took him away, he smiled at me, like he still has cards to play. "He's going to federal prison, maximum security. What cards could he possibly have?" Terry thought about the black SUV, about Reed, about men who killed for money, about arrangements made before conviction. "I don't know, but something's not finished." He was right. 2 days after the verdict, Reed made his move. He had been waiting, patient, professional, let the trial play out, let everyone relax, think the danger past. Then he struck. Terry received a phone call, unknown number. He almost didn't answer, but something made him pick up. "Mr. Brooks." The voice was calm, flat, professional. "My name is Reed. I was hired to kill you." Terry's blood froze. "Who is this?" "I told you, my name is Reed. I'm calling because I have a proposition. Meet me. Alone, tonight at 11, the old warehouse on Memorial Drive. You know the one. If you come alone, this ends quietly. If you don't, I go after your daughter. Your choice." "You son of a..." The line went dead. Terry stood there, phone in hand, mind racing. This was a trap. Obviously, Reed would kill him, probably had no intention of leaving Destiny alone regardless. But what choice did he have? If he didn't go, Reed would come for Destiny. If he went, at least the target was on him. At least Destiny had a chance. He called Victoria, told her everything. "Don't go, we call the police. We handle this legally. By the time police get there, he'll be gone, and he'll just try again. I have to end this." "Then I'm coming with you." "No, you stay with Destiny. Keep her safe. If something happens to me, she needs you." Terry, please don't do this. I have to, for her, for us, for the life we're trying to build. He kissed Victoria, long, deep, like it might be the last time. I love you, he said. First time he had said it out loud, should have said it sooner, should have said it every day. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. I love you too, come back to me. I'll try. At 10:45, Terry drove to the warehouse. Old place, abandoned, used to manufacture textiles, now just rotting brick and broken windows. He parked, got out, checked his weapon. Old Colt 1911 from his Marine days, 7 rounds, hopefully enough. The warehouse was dark inside. Moonlight through broken skylights provided the only illumination. Terry's footsteps echoed on concrete. Mr. Brooks, the voice came from shadows. You came alone, smart. Reed stepped into the light. Average height, average build, forgettable face. The kind of man who disappeared in crowds, perfect for his profession. He held a gun, pointed at Terry, professional stance, two-handed grip, center mass targeting. I want you to understand, Reed said conversationally, this isn't personal, it's just business. Marcus Whitmore paid me $50,000. I deliver results. Marcus is in prison, can't pay you from there. Already paid, up front, professionals don't work on credit. Terry kept his hands visible, gun still holstered. You don't have to do this, walk away, I won't come after you, won't tell police, just walk away. Can't bad for reputation. I take a job, I finish it. Even if it's wrong. Right and wrong don't exist in my world, only contracts and completion. Reed's finger tightened on the trigger. Terry moved. Marine training, muscle memory, years of practice in another life. He dove left, drew his weapon, fired. Reed fired too. Both shots missed, muzzle flashes lighting the darkness like lightning. Terry rolled behind a concrete pillar, heart pounding, breathing hard. He wasn't a killer, wasn't built for this, but he would do what he had to do. Impressive, Mr. Brooks, Reed called out. Marine Corps. Yeah. Me too, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, Iraq 2 Tour U. 1st Marine Division, Afghanistan. Brothers in arms, shame I have to kill you. Doesn't have to be this way. Yes, it does. Reed moved, silent, professional. Terry tracked him by sound, by instinct, fired when Reed's shadow crossed moonlight. Hit. Reed grunted, staggered but didn't fall, fired back. 3 rounds, fast, accurate. One bullet grazed Terry's shoulder, burning pain, blood but not fatal. They circled each other, 2 warriors, 2 Marines, one defending family, one serving contract. Why do you do this? Terry called out. Kill people for money. Because I'm good at it, because it pays well, because nothing else mattered after the war. That's not true. There's always something that matters. Not for me, I lost that. Lost myself over there, came back empty. This is all I have left. Terry understood, had felt that emptiness after Sarah died, that void where purpose used to be. The difference was Terry had destiny, had something to fight for, something to live for. Reed had nothing. It's not too late, Terry said. You can walk away, find something else, be something else. I'm 52 years old, been doing this half my life. This is who I am. No, this is what you do, who you are still in there, buried but there. Reed was quiet, maybe considering, maybe just reloading. Then sirens, police, getting closer. Reed cursed, you called them. Victoria did. I told her where I was going. She gave me 10 minutes, then called 911. Smart woman. The smartest. The sirens were loud now, close, red and blue lights flashing through broken windows. Reed had two choices, fight or run. He chose option 3. Dropped his gun, raised his hands. "I'm done, Brooks, you win." Police swarmed in, guns drawn, shouting commands. They grabbed Reed, cuffed him, read him his rights. Found Terry bleeding behind the pillar, called ambulance. "Sir, are you hit?" "Shoulder graze, I'll live." Victoria burst through police lines, ran to Terry, threw her arms around him, didn't care about blood or cameras or professional distance. "You stupid, brave, infuriating man. Don't ever do that again." "I won't, promise." "You better keep that promise." "I will, because I have something to live for." He kissed her, right there, in front of police and paramedics and media cameras, kissed her like she was oxygen and he was drowning. When they broke apart, Victoria was crying. "I thought I lost you." "Not that easy. I survived war, poverty, grief, Marcus, Reed. I can survive anything now." "Don't joke, this isn't funny." "I know, I'm sorry, but it's over now, really over. Marcus is in prison, Reed is arrested, we're safe." "We better be, because I can't do this again. Can't watch you risk your life. My heart can't take it." "Then I'll be more careful." "You better." The paramedics insisted on taking Terry to the hospital. Gunshot wound. Even grazing shots needed treatment. Risk of infection. Victoria rode in the ambulance, held his hand, didn't let go. At the hospital, they cleaned the wound, stitched it, gave him antibiotics, told him he was lucky. 2 inches to the left and the bullet would have hit his subclavian artery. He would have bled out in minutes. "Luck had nothing to do with it," Terry said. "Training, instinct, and someone watching over me." He meant Sarah, still felt her sometimes, in quiet moments, in decisions that felt guided, in luck that felt like more than chance. Victoria understood, didn't feel jealous or threatened, just squeezed his hand. They released Terry at 3 a.m. Victoria drove him home. Destiny was asleep in her room. Security guard outside, everything safe, normal, quiet. Terry kissed Destiny's forehead. She didn't wake, just made a small sound, content protected. In his own bedroom, Terry collapsed, exhausted, hurting, but alive. Victoria helped him into bed, started to leave, give him space to rest. "Stay," he said. "You need to sleep. I need you here, please." She stayed, lay beside him, careful of his injured shoulder. They didn't talk, just existed together. 2 people who had almost lost everything, finding comfort in presence. "Terry." "Yeah. I want this to be my life. You, Destiny, this house, this family, not just visiting, not just staying over sometimes, really living it." "What are you saying?" "I'm saying I want to marry you." Terry's heart stopped, started again, faster. "Victoria, did you just propose to me?" "I think I did. Is that okay? Can women do that?" "Women can do anything, but that's supposed to be my job." "So you do it." Terry laughed. Pain shot through his shoulder, but he didn't care. He sat up, took Victoria's hand. "I don't have a ring, don't have a plan, don't have a romantic setting, just have this moment. And you, and a question." "Ask it." "Victoria Ashford, I'm a mechanic, a widower, a single dad. I have debt and scars and baggage. I'll never be rich or powerful or impressive, but I love you completely, terrifyingly, forever. Will you marry me anyway?" Victoria was crying, happy tears, beautiful tears. Yes, 1,000 times yes. They kissed, gentle because of his injury, deep because of their feeling, a promise, a beginning. When? Victoria asked. Soon. I don't want to wait, don't want to waste time. Sarah taught me that time is the most valuable thing we have. I want to spend mine with you. How soon? 2 months, small ceremony, just people we love, nothing fancy. Terry, I'm a billionaire. People expect fancy. Then they'll be disappointed. I want real, authentic us. Victoria smiled. Okay, 2 months, small ceremony, real and authentic in us. They fell asleep like that, tangled together, planning a future that had seemed impossible 7 months ago. The wedding happened on a Saturday in December, at Victoria's house. The backyard transformed into something magical, string lights, white flowers, chairs for 50 people. Destiny was flower girl, wore a white dress that made her look like an angel, took her job very seriously, practiced walking down the aisle 17 times. Louis was Terry's best man, wore a suit Victoria bought him, cried during the ceremony, didn't even try to hide it. Victoria wore a simple white dress. No veil, no train, no spectacle, just elegant and beautiful in her. Terry wore the same black suit from Sarah's funeral, but it felt different now. Not mourning, celebrating. The officiant was a judge, friend of Victoria's father. He kept it short, simple. Marriage is a choice you make every day. To love when it's easy, to love when it's hard, to choose partnership over independence, family over self. These two have already proven they can make that choice. Today they make it official. The vows were traditional, for better or worse. Richer or poorer, sickness and health, death do us part. When Terry said, I do, he meant it with everything he had. When Victoria said, I do, her voice was strong, certain, no doubts. I now pronounce you husband and wife. They kissed, everyone cheered, Destiny yelled finally, which made everyone laugh. The reception was barbecue from Terry's favorite restaurant. Beer and wine, dancing in the backyard, nothing fancy, nothing fake, just joy. At sunset, Terry found himself alone for a moment, standing at the edge of the property, looking at stars. Destiny found him, slipped her hand into his. You okay, Daddy? Better than okay, pumpkin, happy. You deserve to be happy. So do you. I am. Miss Victoria is nice, and she makes really good pancakes now, even better than Mama's. Don't tell Mama I said that. Terry smiled, our secret. They stood in silence, father and daughter. Then Destiny asked the question Terry had been waiting for. Is Miss Victoria my mama now? That's up to you. She'd never try to replace your mama. No one could, but she could be something else, something new if you want. Destiny thought about this, serious consideration, then nodded. I think Mama would like her. I think Mama would be happy we're happy. I think you're right. Can I call her Mom? If you want to, have you asked her? Not yet, wanted to ask you first. Go ask her. Destiny ran off, found Victoria talking to guests, tugged her sleeve, whispered something. Victoria's face transformed, joy, love, tears. She scooped Destiny up, hugged her tight, nodded yes. Whatever the question was, the answer was yes. Terry watched his family, his new family, built from loss and pain and choices to keep trying, keep hoping, keep believing in second chances. Louis appeared beside him. Boss, you did good. We both did. You're heading to MIT next year. Full ride, engineering degree. You'll change the world. Because you gave me a shot, taught me, believed in me. Because you deserved it. They stood together, watched the party, the life they had helped build. What's next for you, boss? The garage, the institute, we're expanding. Gonna train 50 kids a year, give them skills, futures, hope. The Brooks Ashford Technical Institute. Yeah, Victoria's idea. Combine our names, combine our missions. Help people who need it most. You're a good man, boss. I'm just trying. That's all any of us can do, just try. The party went late. Dancing and laughter and stories. When it finally ended, when the last guest left, Terry and Victoria stood in the wreckage of celebration. We did it, Victoria said. We're married. Having second thoughts. Not even close, you. Never. They cleaned up together, picked up cups and plates, ordinary tasks, ordinary moment, but somehow perfect. In bed that night, Victoria curled against Terry's good shoulder. I love you, Mrs. Brooks. I love you too, Mr. Ashford Brooks. That's your name now, Ashford Brooks. Combining them like the Institute, we're a team, both names, both families, one future. Terry kissed her forehead. I like it. They fell asleep, husband and wife, beginning forever. 18 months later, Terry stood in the parking lot of Brooks Ashford Technical Institute. The building was new, modern, state-of-the-art, classrooms, workshops, equipment that rivaled MIT. Inside, 50 students learned automotive technology, electrical engineering, robotics, all from underprivileged backgrounds, all on full scholarships funded by the Ashford Foundation. Lewis was teaching a class, electrical systems. Students hung on every word. He was a natural teacher, patient, clear, inspiring. Destiny was 9 now, taller, smarter, still the center of Terry's world. She spent afternoons at the institute, helping, learning, already talking about being an engineer like her daddy. Victoria was pregnant, 5 months, showing, glowing. They had told Destiny last month. She had screamed with joy, demanded to help pick names, insisted on being the best big sister in history. What if it's a boy? Victoria had asked. Then I get a little brother. Even better, boys are fun. What if it's a girl? Then I get a sister. We can share clothes. They had decided not to find out the gender, wanted the surprise, wanted the joy of discovery. Terry walked into the institute, found Victoria in her office. She came here twice a week, oversaw operations, met students, stayed connected. Hey, beautiful. She looked up, smiled. That smile that still made his heart skip. Hey yourself, how's the garage? Good, fixed 12 cars today. Taught 3 kids how to change oil. Normal day. I love our normal. Me too. He sat beside her, put his hand on her belly, felt movement, their baby, their future. Have you thought more about names? Victoria asked. If it's a boy, Richard, after your father. Victoria's eyes filled with tears. Really? He deserves to be remembered, honored. He built something good. We're just continuing it. And if it's a girl? Sarah, after someone else who deserves to be remembered. You sure? I don't want you to feel like you're replacing her. I'm not replacing her, I'm honoring her. She gave me destiny, taught me how to love. I wouldn't be here without her. Wouldn't have you, wouldn't have this life. Sarah made all of this possible. Victoria kissed him. You're a good man, Terrence Brooks. I'm a lucky man, luckiest man alive. They sat in comfortable silence, planning futures, building dreams. The phone rang, Victoria's cell, unknown number. She answered, hello. Listened, her expression changed, shock, then something like relief. What? She whispered, when? Terry's stomach dropped. What's wrong? Victoria hung up, stared at him. That was the prison. Marcus is dead. Heart attack. Died an hour ago. Terry didn't know what to feel. Relief, sadness, nothing. Good riddance, Victoria said finally. He tried to kill us, destroy us. I won't mourn him. Neither will I. They sat in silence. The shadow of Marcus Whitmore finally gone, the threat truly over, the past laid to rest. It's really finished now, Victoria said. Everything, the danger, the fear, the looking over our shoulders, we're finally free. We've been free. Since the day we chose each other, everything else was just noise. When did you become so wise? I've always been wise. You just didn't notice because I wore coveralls and fixed cars. She laughed, punched his arm playfully. Shut up. They went home together, picked up Destiny from the institute, had dinner as a family, spaghetti, Destiny's favorite. After dinner, they sat in the living room. Destiny doing homework, Victoria reading, Terry just watching them, his family, his life, his everything. Daddy, Destiny looked up from her math worksheet. Mr. Harrison at school asked what you do. I said you fix cars and teach students and help people. He said that's 3 jobs. I said no, it's 1 job, being good. Is that right? Terry's throat tightened. That's exactly right, pumpkin. Good, because I want to have the same job when I grow up. What job? Being good like you. Victoria looked at Terry, love and pride shining in her eyes. You're already good, Terry said. The best person I know. Even better than Mom. You're tied for best person. Destiny grinned, went back to her homework. Victoria moved closer to Terry, whispered in his ear. You did it. You survived, thrived, built something beautiful from nothing. We did it together. Together. That night after Destiny was asleep, Terry stood on the back porch, looked at stars, thought about the journey. From poverty to prosperity, from loneliness to love, from survival to purpose. He had lost Sarah, but found Victoria, lost his career, but found his calling, lost his way, but found home. The universe took, but it also gave, if you were brave enough to keep going, keep trying, keep believing that tomorrow could be better than today. Victoria joined him, wrapped arms around him from behind, rested her head against his back. What are you thinking about? How lucky I am. Luck had nothing to do with it. You earned this, every bit of it. Maybe, but I'll take luck too. Stack the deck however I can. They stood in the darkness, husband and wife, soon to be parents again, building a life worth living. Terry. Yeah. Thank you. For what? For saving my life, for loving me, for showing me what family means, for being exactly who you are, for everything. Right back at you. They went inside, checked on Destiny one more time. She slept peacefully, dreaming whatever 9-year-olds dream, protected, loved, safe. In their own bed, Terry and Victoria held each other, 2 people who had found each other in chaos, built something lasting from the wreckage. I love you, Terry whispered. I love you too, Victoria whispered back. And in the darkness of their room, in the warmth of their home, in the heart of the family they had chosen, they slept. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new joys, new moments to build on. But tonight they had everything they needed. Each other. The mechanics of honor had led Terry Brooks from grease and gears to love and legacy. He had started as a man hiding from his past, ended as a man building the future. Not bad for a mechanic. Not bad at all.